Empower 527 presents Real Talk. One of the 5 principles of success is relationships. The most important one is the one at home. So I reached out to some friends of mine that are professionals or business owners to come together to discuss relationships, how being driven affects dating, and how to balance the connections that work.
So compromising is so important, but sometimes it's hard to compromise.
Amen.
I think for me, is it compromising or is it settling? And a lot of times when it's things that I have to compromise on, I have to really sit and think to myself, like, am I doing this just because I want to be with this person? Or am I doing this because that's the only way that person is going to want to be with me? And so I feel myself always on this line, like trying to figure out like what my decision should be when it comes to certain things. And that's stressful. So a lot of times I just throw it in the towel and like, you know what? I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to the next thing.
They like, this is just date number 2.
I'm gonna move on to the next thing. So
Compromising, it's hard no matter what. Because just like Tina said, you don't really, because I was telling my niece that, is it really compromise or is it, because people say, well, as long as we compromise, and when I hear somebody say that, I kind of cringe because it depends on the person that's saying, especially if a man is saying, as long as we compromise. I'm saying, well, when you say as long as we compromise, are you saying as long as you do it my way? Is that compromise? Or are you really saying, let's discuss this so we can come to a happy medium, and then that's compromise?
I think that relationships are like a Venn diagram where you'll have the middle circle and the 2 circles on the side. The middle circle, if in your relationship, the majority of things that I like and the majority of things I like are in that middle circle, and this is kind of minimal, then you're gonna have less things to compromise on. So I think that helps the situation. And then on the stuff on the outside, I have to realize that's what makes her happy. She has to realize that's what makes me happy and allow me to be in that space and have the time to be happy and do the things that I like, even if it's not something that she likes. That's my feeling.
But that's compromising. Like, you know, I'm not gonna want to watch, I don't know, Lifetime or whatever. But our compromise is spend time with you because that's quality time. You know, and I think that's sometimes where some people have a hard time looking at is not being selfish. Of, you know, I'm gonna do something for you too, and versus just for me. It's not about me. It's about doing things for the other person.
I'm gonna push back on that. I do think that you got to be selfish, because although you're married, doesn't take you're not no longer an individual, and you have individual likes. I think you got to live into some of that stuff, and there may be things that your mate is never gonna like, and why should she have to sit through something that I really enjoy when it doesn't make a difference? I understand big occasions, like let's say football, for example. We're having a Super Bowl party. I don't expect her to go over her sister's house. Right. But if it's just a regular Sunday afternoon, she can go do whatever she want to do rather than watch a football game with me. And I don't know that that's hurtful. But the other thing that we do is, for us, and it works for us, we have between Monday and Thursday, she gets Mondays and Wednesdays, I get Tuesdays and Thursdays, to do whatever we want to do on our own in the evening after the kids are asleep. Nice. So I can go out and do my own thing. So there isn't any
really no questions asked. I mean,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
in itself is a compromise.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a great
so
compromise.
we've been doing that for like 9 years now, and it just works.
Amen.
Because now on Friday and Saturday, we want to be together.
okay.
Right.
Because we weren't together for the rest of the week, so it works for us.
and it gives you friend time. You know, it gives you friend time, and
She hangs out with her girlfriends much more than
and
she
actually,
would.
now that we think about it, that really was a compromise because it was an issue. Because after we had the kids, every time I looked up, he was out having this Mr. Fun Time,
Living his best life.
living his whole best life. I'm thinking to myself, now this is ridiculous.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Where are you going?
She got the baby.
I got the parade, rocking on everybody. This is crazy. So yeah, that was our compromise because I said we can't. I cannot sit and watch you go out.
Well, I mean, you hear like what Mike said, that everybody changes after you get married. I don't know that the people change. Your circumstances change, and then
which changes you.
Right. So that was, for me, it just made sense because it allowed us to get some semblance of individuality.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it works. Yeah, and it's interesting because my parents who've been married 50 years and his parents who've been married 50 years. Almost 50. They find it kind of, and they find it weird. They're like, wait a minute, he get to go out every 2 months, what? Tuesday and Thursday. I'm like, yeah. Every Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, and this mug, if he's sick, he won't miss a night. What's going on here? Babe, you sick today? Yeah, I'm sick. I ain't gonna be able to do da 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 da. 8:30 come, you're like, well, I'm better.
Feel a little better.
So would you say that social media has made dating worse or better?
I think social media has made dating a little bit more complex. We tend to romanticize our grandparents. When they dated our grandmom or our grandfather, there was all this love, and they were married, they were in the Jet magazine, they've been married 50 years.
Such a great point. I don't mean to cut you off, keep going, but that is such a great point.
Meanwhile, Grandpa had another whole family on the other side of the city. And what they didn't have then is what we have now. I mean, they didn't have a cell phone, social media, all these avenues where one could easily be caught did not exist at that time. And now they do. So on one end, yeah, you got to be careful now on social media. I tell my girlfriend this all the time. Like, I am very discreet on social media. I do that purposely because I don't need all 2,000 of my friends in my business, and I don't want them in your business either.
Yeah.
The other part is the deterioration of communication in male to female, horizontal interpersonal relationships. It's gotten very grammar school in a way, and I think it runs parallel to our educational system, our sense of romance. Romance has just completely declined.
It has.
And that no longer needs to be in existence. So all that, I think, derives from the advent of social media, and now people having to recalibrate. How am I going to approach this person? And they're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, and they're on Snapchat. And how does that intertwine in my relationship with them moving forward? It is very complex, and I think that's why a lot of times we struggle now.
To me, the problem with social media is that the person that I meet in face to face is totally different from what I see on social media, from the physical part of it and from who they are, what they say. It's because after like a couple of dates, like she looked totally different. Their mentality is so different from what they post. So the problem for me with dating on social media is
getting catfished.
I'm getting catfished all the time. And then now with the filters, I see women are like, they got filters all over the place. And men, a lot of my friends, we just like, come on.
It's not for us.
It's not for us. Like, we want to see you. We don't want to see the ears and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want all that. Like, I want to see you. So,
not no fun.
I mean, it's fun, but every now and again, but like
not your whole feed.
Your whole feed, all your feed is that. So that you got to be
a video where you playing with your hair.
Who is this woman?
Right.
To me, social media feels like you remember when you would play like 2K and you would create yourself.
Yeah.
And you might be 5'6", 140 pounds, but on the game you 6'5", 215, and you can shoot from 30 feet.
Yeah.
That's what people do with social media. They put out this exaggerated view of who they think they are.
Yes,
that's true.
I think it's extremely interesting for married couples.
It is, and we absolutely have. He has his own. I don't have any of his passwords. He don't have none of my passwords, so we don't do that.
I have all of her passwords.
Whatever. Do you?
Yeah. I don't check up on you. So.
I'm like, do you? To change my
Look at that trust. Come on now.
I'm like, do you? We don't. So we don't go at each other's pages or emails or nothing like that.
Real quick, it's funny because we'll laugh and we'll see people and they're saying, "Stay out of my DMs." Why y'all always in my DMs? And we be like, "Why ain't nobody in my DMs?"
I tell my time, do I look that happy? I'm posting an argument. It's ridiculous. I want somebody to jump my DMs so I can be like, stay out of my DM.
You put an argument up, someone will be like, hey, sweetheart, everything okay?
No, but we laugh about that all the time. But I think that it's it's trust. I think a lot of trust, and
I see a lot of couples that are doing combined accounts now.
and I don't want to do a combined account. I want to be able to speak my own truth. I want to speak my own mind. And and we don't comment on each other's posts a lot either. We don't do a lot of that.
Likes, maybe.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm like, you didn't like the picture that I posted. He said, maybe I saw you. I was in the room when you got dressed.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I want you to love it. I can feel good about myself.
What were you saying about married couples with social media?
Well, if the presenting problem is infidelity, then cell phones and social media is fair game in a session for me, because that now has just become the avenue for cheating in relationships. And it's secretive, and it's discreet,
and easy.
It's easy, and it's everything anti what your marriage is supposed to be about.
Right.
So I tell couples to be very careful, certainly on what you post. If you post something, is it something that your husband or your wife and their family could see and be okay with?
It's amazing to me how many people have zero filter on their social media. Like they're not conscious of their audience at all.
You are not lying. I be looking at some people's stuff. I'll be like, really?
Yeah.
It's
No filters.
Like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, I'm like,
I get that a lot.
yeah, I'm like, man, they just, I mean, especially now with like the sex memes, people post all kind of sex memes. I'm like, you got so many people on here, like if a private group or your friends, that's one thing, but you shouldn't be posting this type of stuff. And it's like people our age post things, and I'm looking at them like, are you 15, 16, or what? Like, really?
And if you said that to them, they would tell you, I'm grown.
I'm grown, I don't care. And they get mad on, I'm like,
No, but I think that and also too with social media, like you said, Quincy, you don't do a lot of pictures and everything with, and I have seen a lot of couples do that. They don't do that, but me on the other hand, I'm always like, ooh, let's take a picture. Let's do this. Let's post up. But anytime that we're talking, somebody tell people all the time, well, don't sensationalize our marriage or make it on this pedestal, because we have arguments literally just like the next couple.
like everybody.
And
we just don't.
I'm just not gonna post about it. Because
that was between us. That wasn't for the rest of the world.
Yeah, and actually, even if one time we were in an argument and I was like, "Oh, we look cute. Let's take a picture."
Right.
He's like, "No, that's fake. I ain't smiling for no picture." I don't know. He's like, "Don't put that on social media. We ain't happy right now." I was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna put this on. You better smile, because I'm gonna put it up here."
See, but that's funny, because I feel like with social media, people idolize relationships that they see through pictures. And so let's say you all could have just been in a mere argument. You could have someone that's fighting with her boyfriend because, we don't have their relationship, but they have no clue that you all were just at each other's throats a minute before.